Hi there, I'm the Creative Mutt, and today I have an unboxing, or rather an unboxed video, of my new Schacht Flatiron spinning wheel. Now, one of the things I like most about this wheel is just how it looks. It's got this big black wheel. It looks like a big black iron wheel, but it's really nylon, so it's lightweight. And I also like that they've chosen to use plywood. They've given the frame a very modern look. And when I look at the frame, it sort of implies like a sheep out in the pasture or some other farm animal out there. And so the wheel just has sort of a nostalgic look, and when I look at it, it puts me in the mood to spin. Kind of transports me out to an old barn somewhere. And I like that. And one thing I have to say about it is I have tried spinning on it a little bit already, and I like the way it spins. I like how the treadling is nice and smooth. My old spinning wheel had sort of a clunky treadling. This treadles very smoothly, and it spins nice and fast. I can make more yarn in a shorter amount of time on this wheel. I'm not the greatest spinner, but just the fact that this wheel is so nice and smooth, it's helping me to spin a more consistent yarn. I recommend that you do use the instruction book for assembly, and you also use the video that Schacht has on YouTube for assembling this wheel. It's just, they complement each other. You'll run into places in the instruction book where there might be a picture that is kind of hard to see all the details and all the little parts, and when you look at the video, it's easier to see what they're doing. So I recommend using both. The video is going to have some things that the instruction book doesn't, and vice versa. Make sure you just refer back and forth. So I thought this was the instruction book, but it turns out that it is their catalog, and it is a very nice catalog. And, you know, of course they make looms and, you know, accessories for your spinning wheel. And there's all kinds of cool stuff in here. It's a very well put together catalog. Some of all kinds of things in here. There's their spinning wheel section back here. So here's the instruction book. And it's a nice instruction book. It's got all the illustrations are in color, which is nice. And all through the instructions, they give you a choice of whether or not you want to assemble the wheel with the flyer on the right or the flyer on the left, depending on your handedness and your preference for spinning. They've got all the little pieces and parts, nuts and bolts and stuff like that, organized really nicely in these little Ziploc bags. And they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to help go along with, you know, each stage of the instructions. Now, while there are a few pieces of solid wood that make up the wheel, most of it is made out of plywood, but it's a really nice plywood. It's got just a really soft, smooth finish on it. So here we have the front and rear maidens, and over here we have the treadle assembly and the footmen. The footmen have this, are made a little more flexible with this hard rubber kind of a thing here, and then this down here where they attach is also a little bit of a softer rubber, I guess. And you get your medium speed and your high speed whorls there. This is a tool. I think it just helps with assembly. It's a little plastic tool. I'm not sure what that's for yet. There again is the flyer, and then the side pieces, and then your front and back panels, and then you have the star of the show, the wheel, and it is plastic
which I am okay with because I think it's a really cool looking wheel. And, you know, again, it just, you know, it looks like old farm equipment or something. I really love the look of this and how it contrasts with the wood. And then taped to the wheel, you've got the drive band. And then in one of the envelopes here, one of the tool envelopes, they have the cotton drive band for if you want to do double drive. So there's also 3 different kinds of tension. You know, you have the Scotch tension, the Irish tension, and you can do, you know, double drive.
I took a couple of nights after work to put this together, so maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. Take your time, be patient. Okay, now the first thing about this that's a little weird in assembling, if you're not used to this kind of thing, and I wasn't, was, you know, it does have these curves in the plywood, and so where you join these panels together on the back and on the front, the plywood's going to bend, and you're going to be instructed to not do that all at once. It'll have you tighten up these bolts, but it'll say don't tighten all the way. Make sure as you're going through there that you wait until they tell you to do the final tightening on some of these bolts. And this weird thing that we saw in the unboxing, it's actually a third hand tool that you will use during assembly. And it actually helps hold the bend in the plywood while you put the bolts into the front and side panels. So when you get to attaching these treadles, there's going to be, on each of these blocks that the treadles go on, there's going to be 6 holes. And you might wonder, well, which holes do I put the screws in? Go exactly by the illustration in the book. The reason they have 6 holes on each of the treadle blocks is because this spinning wheel is built to be assembled with the wheel either on the right hand side or the left hand side. So those are just extra holes in there. Don't think that you have to find some use for them. When I was instructed to attach the treadles to these black rubber footmen here, I found it necessary to hold it with a pair of pliers, and I put something over the pliers' jaws to protect the rubber from getting bitten into, but I found that I could not just hold this with my fingers and screw it in on its own. So the maiden that holds the flyer has a quick release lever, which is really nice because you can just flip that up and drop the maiden down to change the flyer out really easily. This is made like if you've ever had a bicycle with a quick release wheel, it's the exact same mechanism, except with this, because you're not going to be riding this thing down the street, you don't need to muscle it like you would on a bicycle wheel. It's just you can just go see how that opens and closes really easily there. If you're finding that it doesn't open or close easily, that there's too much force involved in opening or closing this lever, you want to take this knob here and back it off a little bit so it opens and closes and locks with ease. When you put on the whorl, the smaller end of the whorl faces the bobbin. My old wheel goes the exact opposite way, so I put it on wrong the first time. Most people probably won't do that. Another cool thing about this wheel is you get the 2 whorls. This is the high-speed one back here. And they give you a little screw that just goes into it and attaches it to the back so that when you transport the wheel, the whorl is already on there and you can just take it off and switch it on there whenever you need to. So between the orifice here and the maiden, there is a bit of metal there that you can see. And what they want you to do is to adjust the maiden
So you've got just a 1/16 of an inch of the metal showing there. And what I did was I did less than a 1/16 of an inch because I found that when I tightened the maiden, it kind of popped open a little bit and equaled a 1/16 of an inch. So just do it so you just see just a sliver of that metal shining through there. So getting the wheel aligned is really easily. They're going to give you 2 wheel balancing tools that you're just going to put on the wheel. They attach to the wheel, and that helps you line the wheel up perfectly to the frame. It's really easy to do. You might have to do it more than once. Once you retighten all the screws and everything, you might have to go back and do just one more balancing, but it's really quick and it's really easy to do. So
Oil at
don't
the front
sweat it.
bearing. Make sure you oil your machine on the top of the footman where they meet the crank. Oil back here at the rear bearing. Oil at the front bearing. And oil on either side of the bobbin on the flyer shaft here where the bobbin connects to the flyer shaft. Now, Schacht recommends using 30 weight motor oil. I've also read from other sources that you can use gun oil. I have also read that you should not use sewing machine oil. It won't hurt, but it's just not as long lasting as the other two would be. So there you have it, the Schacht Flatiron spinning wheel. If you liked my video, please hit like, and if you want to see more videos, please hit subscribe. That's all for now.